What do you think? Is it okay for adults who work with students to swear when they're working with them? This is something I think about from time to time because I'm a swearer. I've been a swearer ever since sixth grade, actually, when a boy I thought was cute, who our families were spending a lot of time together, and he would swear a lot when the adults weren't around, and I thought that was really cool. And I noticed if I swore, it seemed to make him like me better. Now, did it actually? I don't know, but that's what I noticed, and I've been a swearer ever since. So when I was a classroom teacher, I never swore with students. But when I made the transition into academic coaching, I noticed that students often, even though I tried to be bouncy and playful and relatable in all kinds of ways, students still, there seemed to be a power dynamic where they treated me like the adult and they tried to be polite and even professional. And I could tell they weren't really sharing their true selves with me. And I noticed over time that when I allowed in a well-placed swear word, usually when that swear word represented my inner voice or their inner voice about school, it built significant connection between me and the student. And it also seemed to break through that power barrier that was there. So what I think is helpful about swear words specifically, especially when we are working with students on academic skills, is often the language that educators use to talk to students doesn't match the intensity that a student feels inside. And a swear word cuts through that and gets right to the intensity. Like a student, sometimes when they're given a homework assignment, might be thinking in their head, F this! I don't want to do that. And when I acknowledged that that was the inner voice, and I even used the word, not even just the polite way that I just did right now, but use the actual word, it really did cut through something. And students and I were able to relate to each other better. And the student told me the truth more often about what they were thinking and feeling. Now, am I saying I think every coach should swear with students? Absolutely not. I'm just saying that the more I can speak in my own authentic voice as an adult, the more that gives the student permission to speak in their authentic voice. And I've learned how to introduce swear words in a very specific way that I'm going to walk you through right now. Before I share this whiteboard, quick thing, head on over if you're curious to gretchenwegner.com/secret. And there's a whole PDF that introduces you to some of the secrets behind how I work with students around study skills and time management. And it includes something called the consent burger that I'm going to reference in just a moment. So totally free. Pick that up if you like. But here's what I do. So first, when I'm meeting a student and chatting with them, I edit myself when I notice swear words coming to mind. I don't want to assume that students like to swear. But then what I've learned to do is, this is step 2, I reveal to the student that I just edited myself. It's like, I just noticed a swear word came to mind, and it's like the best word to describe this feeling that we're talking about what it feels like to do homework. But I edited myself because I don't know how comfortable you are with swear words. So where are you with that? And then the student usually says, use whatever words you want, no problem. There's one student who said, well, I don't use them myself, but you can go ahead and use them. And sometimes I double check. I say, are you sure you're just saying that because I'm an adult and you feel like you should let me talk however I want to? Or are you really okay with swear words? And usually they laugh and they're like, I'm okay with them. And so it's like, okay, I'm trust that what you're telling me is accurate. If that ever changes, you please feel free to speak up. But then, so that's this third part, right? I ask their permission. Is it okay if I just go ahead and swear with you? And usually I tell them when I swear, it's because the word reflects my inner voice or what I suspect your inner voice is. And I want us to be able to communicate together in a way where we're sharing what's actually true for both of us. So that's why. And then I also invite them to swear too. If you ever feel like you want to swear, go for it. And then often I'll say, like, well, I mean, let's not call each other names, right? But let's use the words if they're really the best words to talk about what your experience is like, or if you're feeling really frustrated about something, you just need to get it out. Sometimes swear words are a really good way to do that, and I'm okay with that in this space. So usually I take the time to walk through all of these steps. And I've noticed even recently I've been working with groups of students. Now, I don't think I would do this if the students were younger. In this case, the students are all in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. They're adult students. And I noticed that at the beginning of this presentation that I was doing, everybody was on their best behavior. Their shoulders were tight. This was their first day of class. They really want to be successful. Everybody was just trying to be all buttoned up and try to be perfect. But as my sign says, life does not have to be perfect to be wonderful. Did you all see that? Sometimes that happens. My light just goes off. I don't do a good job with battery management on my YouTube lights. Sorry about that. I'm going to finish this video nonetheless. So when I walked through some version of this process with the adults in the room, I said, you know what? I'm a swearer. Sometimes I find it's helpful to actually use swear words to name what our experience as a student. So I'm going to do that right now. If anyone is offended by swear words and doesn't want me to use them in the future, feel free to talk to me after class. I'm so open to that. But right now, and then I used the word, and everybody giggled. You could tell, but it wasn't uncomfortable giggling. It was like, oh, that is exactly what I'm thinking and feeling in my head right now. All the shoulders relaxed. And I felt like we were a team in a way we hadn't been a team before. And they really got that I understand what their experience is like. So here's my question for you. How do you find ways to talk in your authentic voice so you're not trying to be different than who you deeply are, and can also connect with the students you're working with their authentic feelings and experiences? How do you do that? I do it partially by swearing, but there are so many other ways that we can be relatable and we can truly connect with each other. And if you have some other ideas, or if you use swear words in a different kind of way, I'd love to hear about it. Go ahead and post below. And I can't wait to see your stories if you share any. Okay, bye y'all.